Y'all know what time it is. Y'all don't know, y'all better ask somebody. Hat on, suit on, looking like a dapper dog, giving them all dressed like $1,000,000, diamond things in his cuffs. Y'all tell me who could it be but Steve Harvey? Oh, yeah, and listening to me. Put your hands together for Steve Harvey. Put your hands together. Steve Harvey, listen, Steve Harvey, why don't you join me? Steve Harvey got to turn them out. Got to turn them out. Harvey turn them on in the morning, y'all. Come on, Steve. Come on. Do your thing, Big Daddy.
I sure will. Good morning, everybody. Excuse me. You are listening to The Voice. Come on, dig me now. One and only Steve Harvey got a radio show. Man, oh man, oh man. Something going on real good today. You ought to feel blessed today. The fact that God woke you up and gave you another opportunity. You know, every day you wake up is another chance. It's a chance for all of us to get better, to get it right, to get on the right path, to stop heading the wrong way. Every day you wake up, that's your opportunity. See, because he's going to keep waking you up because he has a plan for you. You know, I don't know, I don't know when he makes his call and you know, who gets called home when. I can't explain it. I don't have that answer. I'm not him. I'm not God. I don't claim to be. I don't understand it all sometimes. But God has an amazing way. But as long as he's waking you up, I do know this, God ain't through with you yet. God has a plan for you. Your job is to identify the plan. You know, that's clearly what I need for you to do. You know, oftentimes the thing that you're looking for, it's right there inside of you. You know, I can't tell you how many people I meet. Mr. Harvey, can I speak to you for a minute? Yeah, man, what's up with you? Man, I was just wondering, man, I've been trying to, and I wanted to know, man, can you give me a good agent? Can you give me a good lawyer? Can you give me a good... Now, look, if you got some legal problems, I understand you're going to need some help right there. But the majority of questions I get asked is about their future, about their place in this world, about their mission, about what they're trying to do, how they're trying to figure out, and then the how to go about doing it. But the answer, I must remind all of you, is always within yourself. It starts right there. See, a lot of people burn up a lot of time looking around, trying to find someone. If I could just meet them, if I could just get on her show, man, if I could just get to his show, I'd be done made it. That's not necessarily the case. Because see, just like every time you put your faith in a person or an event or occurrence or some type of thing that you imagine yourself being, and then that'll do it for you. Imagine of all the people who've made it without. You know, I look at everybody talking, man, if I could get on so-and-so's show, that'll do it for me, man. Somebody else got on that show and they blew up. Man, if I could just make it to that show. Do you know how many people have made it without that? So see, when you start focusing in on what your idea of how to make it is, and your idea of how to make it does not include your relationship with God, you're spinning your wheels. Man, it's a vicious cycle you in now. And I'm asking everybody to get out of that cycle. Get out of looking for someone and something. The answer is within you. God resides in you. That burning thing that you have that you just can't get out your head, that's a seed. God planted that there. That's a seed. It needs watering, nurturing, fertilizing. That's what it needs. It don't ever say, man, I need that other person right there. Now, there are people you will meet that'll compliment you, and I can assure you that God will put you in the right place at the right time. I'm almost certain that God will introduce you to everybody you need to be introduced to make it to wherever it is you all are trying to get to. I'm talking about you and God now. But the moment you take it into your own hands and you make the decision as to who you got to get to, you've just clouded and muddied the waters. See, God's plan for you don't really need your help. It needs your attention. It needs your focus. It needs your faith, and it needs your hard work. But he needs you to listen. He needs you to listen more than anything. Listen, keep the faith, and be willing to work your tail off. I don't know how you think it can happen any other way. But then again, I do, because I tried to make it another way. So I had to come to the conclusion, hey man, listen here, dog, this ain't working for you. You got to get some more God here, man. Listen to me. The answer was always within me. The moment I sat down with myself and told myself the truth that, hey, partner, you ain't really all that. Hey, partner, regardless as to what people are seeing and stuff, you ain't happy. Hey, partner, this really ain't about you. Hey, partner, you really ain't all that good at this. God is keeping you for a reason. Okay, hold up, Steve. Quit tripping. What I need to do. I just started talking to myself, and then I heard Bishop Jakes say a couple of things. Then I was watching TV. I heard Joel Osteen say a couple of things. And I went, wow, man. Okay, cool. That's pretty slick. I'm going to try that. And when I did it, it changed my life. I am telling you, man, it has been God this whole time. And the God has been residing inside of me, just like the God resides on the inside of you. That's him talking to you, telling you, man, you ought to get it together. Man, making you feel bad. It's sending you on guilt trips. You knowing you wrong. You out there wrong. And something telling you ought not do it. Here's how you know it's God. And Bishop Ulmer taught me this in his book. He's got, I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's a really good book. But it says in there, man, Bishop Ulmer was talking in this book, and he was saying, the way you know it's not God's voice is if it ain't no sin in it. See, how many times have you made up in your mind, I'm going to show this person, or I'm going to show that person, or I'm going to get this person back. You hurt me, I'm going to hurt you. You know, the Lord don't like ugly. I'll show you. Well, the Lord don't like ugly, but nowhere in there does it say for you to go show them. It doesn't say that. See, so when you strike out on that mission, you know, the God knows in my heart I loved you, but I got to do this because you did me wrong. Whoa. Ain't got nothing to do with God right there. You can take him out of it. If it's God, has no sin in it. So anytime somebody come to me talking about the Lord told me to do this to you, and that's the only reason I'm doing it, you need to get yourself right with God. I heard all them threats right there. That ain't God talking to me through you. What, are you crazy? If it's God, it has no sin in it. So you got to be careful, man, when you talking to people. We're going to go down here and we're going to do this because this is the right thing to do. If it has something wrong going on, then it can't be the right thing to do. Took me a minute to learn that one. But please get that through your head so you can quit spinning yourself around. And remember, everything you're looking for is within you. It's all right there. Quit wasting your time looking around all the time. Go to your God, man. Talk to him. Go to that spirit that's on the inside of you that's calling you. Stop letting people shake your tree. You know, every time I turn around, man, somebody got a camera in my face that's a freelance for TMZ or something. And they all come with the same thing now lately. I'm an atheist, or, there's an atheist group that's going door to door now. I told the dude at the airport the other day, I said, I don't care. They try to antagonize. He said, hey, man, how do people with aggravating voices get radio shows? I said, I don't know. I don't know anybody with an aggravating voice. Well, do you know that atheists go door to door? I said, man, that's cool, man. Knock yourself out. And I just kept on walking because I'm not going to get tripped up in that game. Look, the atheists have the right to feel how they want to feel. And I had a right to feel what I feel. I'm not stopping you from going around saying you an atheist. You can't go around saying, stop me from saying I'm a believer. Let's just go and live in this world. At the end of the day, somebody going to be right, somebody going to be wrong. Whichever one it is, well, suppose it ain't no God. Well, then I done lived a pretty cool life thinking it was, and I'm going to just ride with that one. That's pretty cool with me right there, okay? All right, y'all. We're going to have a good one today. I'm tripping a little bit, going through something.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let me have your attention. Steve Harvey Morning Show is kicked in right now. This is Steve. The one that brings it all in, is intro level stuff. That's all it is. Ladies and gentlemen, Shirley Strawberry.
Hey, Steve. Good morning.
Carla Farrell.
Good morning, Steve. What's up, crew?
What up, Junior?
Morning, Unc. I guess I can come to work today.
Yeah. Y'all can come. When I cut the game on, by the time I cut it on, it was halftime. J. Anthony Brown, yeah.
Watch out there now, Steve Harvey. What's up with you?
Yeah,
boy?
you can come to work. The Browns didn't beat Houston. And I want you to know that y'all really should pay your tithes this week.
Yeah.
Man, I would throw in 15% if I was y'all. Because what the Lord saved y'all from.
I know. I thank him.
And let me tell you something. I was watching football. I didn't watch a lot of games. I always watch NFL game day live so I can keep up with all the games. When I cut the TV on, it was halftime 23-0. Texans over the Browns. That took a lot of pressure off my Sunday, though. I will say that. Because I didn't have to worry about it no more.
It wasn't even worth worrying about then.
Yeah, then I cut on here and watch his food drop 2 damn touchdowns.
Yeah, so the Texans won, right?
They did. They won.
29-13.
Congratulations, guys.
Man. Well, he said I couldn't come to work if they lost.
Man, thank the Lord.
You sure did say that Friday.
You damn right I said
opening, that's for sure.
Thank
Show
the
would open different,
Lord
man.
for that.
Yeah, Jay, it was going to open
It
different.
would have been a whole different open.
I couldn't even sit in here.
No, we'd be saying the score every break.
Boy. That's good, though.
Good game.
Well, yeah.
And shout out this morning
Yeah.
to my sister Yolanda Adams.
We love her.
I love
You
I
Yolanda.
want to
love
send a
her.
big
Yeah.
shout out and a lot of
Yeah.
love to Yolanda Adams. Yolanda Adams on her Instagram, she had a relationship with the Bush family because they used to do events and they loved Yolanda Adams singing, and they would invite her to a lot of different things to sing. And her and the late President Bush, who just passed, had a
H.W.
relationship.
Herbert Walker.
And she used to call him Daddy Bush. And I mean, that's because she's a Christian. And she posted it. The backlash that she got on her Instagram, I found it appalling that people would attack Yolanda Adams for sending out condolences to the family of a man that she had a relationship with because he was a Republican president.
Oh, that's sad.
And they talked about Yolanda Adams, man, like it was something ridiculous. Yolanda Adams is one of the finest people I have ever met, man.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, she
The
through and through.
nicest women. But a person, I'm going to tell you a true story about Yolanda Adams when we come back. But Yolanda Adams, I text her, and I'll tell you what I text her. I can't tell you exactly.
All right. We'll do it right after this, Steve, at 32 after the hour.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, we didn't mention the nephew's out today. Oops, is it Monday? Oh, okay. But before Before we left out, hey, Tommy, hey, nephew.
Hey,
Wow.
Before we left out.
Team Tommy when he here. I don't know what to say. Team Tommy.
You trying to represent you?
I'm trying to represent it, but he ain't here.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
But, Steve, before we left, you were talking about some of the backlash that our friend Yolanda Adams has received because she posted a picture of her and the late George H.W. Bush.
Yeah, it was a group picture, and she had a relationship with him. You know, they all live down there in Texas.
Yeah.
And Yolanda lives in Houston, and she missed him. They had a great relationship. She used to sing for them all the time. And she posted a picture, condolences, and I miss you. She used to call him Daddy Bush. The backlash on her page, I just happened to be going through it. And I said, wait a minute, man. I could not understand people's response to Yolanda Adams, who happens to be a gospel singer, who is a Christian, and who did a Christian thing. And then, you know, people saying stuff like, so you a Republican now? Wait a minute. Republican or not, you can feel remorse at the loss of a human life. How have we become so polarized? And how is the internet so damn hateful that you can't even send out condolences
Right.
to a man who was a president? But let's just
And a
talk
friend
about
of
the fact
yours.
that maybe they was just cool with each other.
Yes, and it's
friend of
okay.
hers.
It's okay if she is a Republican. I don't know what her political
She
party
ain't.
is, but if she was, it'd still be okay.
And it would be okay
Yeah.
then. You're exactly right, Shirley, because, man, it really
In the
pissed me
world.
off when they attacked her like that, because she's such a Christian. She ain't going to say nothing. Well, then that's where you need Christians like me.
Come on in here. Come on in
You know what I'm
here.
saying? That just, you know, that's kind of like, you know, I'm a Christian, but, you know,
You're a weirdo.
if you slap me, I'm not turning the other cheek. I'm that Christian. So y'all get up off her ass.
Yeah.
Quit talking about her. Quit like, you know, man, like she's done something so deplorable. She's a Christian. That's what Christian people do. You know what really kind of ticks me off is supposedly, why are you following Yolanda? Why do you follow her? I mean, if you're on
If
her
you're a
page,
fan of hers.
you usually be a fan of hers or you follow her for some reason, right?
Right.
So I'm thinking, you know, should be a lot of Christians following her. She's
Yeah.
a gospel singer.
So they're Christians, you're saying, acting
Yeah.
very unchristian-like.
Let's put it like this. Rap fans follow rappers.
Yeah, but who's judging?
R&B fans follow R&B singers.
They do. They do.
People who love comedy
I was
follow comedians.
Thinking of that. Mm-hmm.
So I'm just assuming Christians follow gospel singers.
Amen.
Boy, but when they ask it on that internet, though, oh, just all of a sudden, all that Christianity, when can't nobody put your face to a name on your little fake page you got set up, they talked about this woman, and I just wanted to come to the defense of Yolanda Adams and say, I told my little sister, I said, from your big brother, keep your head up. Don't you change who you are worrying about these people, because she was thrown off with the hatred.
Wow.
I bet she was.
But she
And
said,
she
Steve, I'm
came
just
out of
going to love them
nowhere.
and pray for them anyway.
Yeah.
And you
That's
do
right.
the same.
No,
I told her
that's
I
right.
wasn't praying for nobody.
Okay.
Stop that, Steve.
That's what you don't
but
do.
Carla, you were saying
Yeah.
that in Houston, people know that Yolanda and the Bushes were friends. You were saying that. So
Yes,
this
yes,
is probably from
yes.
people other than Houstonians that were saying this sort of thing
And-
on the internet.
and the
Yeah,
other
because
thing is-
people in Houston, they know Yolanda Adams. She has a relationship with George H.W. Bush, and Barbara Bush, who they both lived in Houston until they passed away. So there's a lot of people in the black community that have relationships with the Bushes in the Houston area. And in the picture, it's Yolanda Adams, former President Barack Obama, former President George H.W. Bush, and former President George W. Bush in the picture that she posts. I just don't understand where people are coming from with this hatred.
She should
and
really
this
feel good,
mean.
because the thing is, if Jesus was alive today with the internet, they would still
Oh.
they would wear him out.
Try to find a way to crucify him
If
again.
Jesus was alive today, to this day right here, with the internet, they would talk about him.
No, you know that's right. You know that's
They
right.
would.
You're
Yes,
right.
true.
Jack.
Look at him walking on water.
Yeah.
Walking on water.
Got his
That
nerve.
ain't real water.
Yeah.
Change your water
That's what they
into
posted,
wine. All
No,
of that.
no, he ain't making blind people see again.
Yeah, come on. That's so. Ooh.
Yeah.
Unnecessary.
But I mean, the Obamas are really good friends with the Bushes now.
Right.
I mean, First Lady Michelle and former President George Bush are really tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're good friends. You know,
Former First Lady, like you said, Shirley Michelle Obama, she's postponed her book tour to attend the funeral.
listen,
See, there you
The
go.
only
Right.
see, President, you can be okay with a person from a different party.
Yes,
Right.
yes, politics.
You really can.
Yes,
It's just
make
'cause guess
strange
what?
bedfellows.
You
What?
each only get one vote.
That's it.
Your view don't change the world or my doggone life. You only get one vote. You can disagree with a person and still be all right with them.
Yes, we do it every day on this show. Every single
let,
day.
let me tell you something, man. There are some good Republicans in this world. There are some good Democrats in this world. I got news for you. It's some bad Republicans in this world, and it's damn sure some bad Democrats in this world.
Yeah.
So get past it, man.
And live your life and let Yolanda
over
live
yourself,
her
right.
life. All right. Coming up next, we're going to talk about the Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury fight. And then you wanted to talk about the football situation, Steve, going on too.
Boy, you don't know how I watch all this.
Okay.
All right now.
All right. All right. We'll talk about it when we come back right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up at the top of the hour, guys, in entertainment news, Beyonce's performance was so beautiful. Did you guys see her at the Global Citizens Festival in Johannesburg, South Africa? We'll talk about that coming up. But right now, Steve Jr. and Jay are here with, they're going to talk about the heavyweight fight between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. And Steve, you got to talk about Deontay's outfit, okay? I'm throwing out some Game of Thrones type vibe.
When he walked into the ring,
I thought it was a chicken.
I didn't know what he was doing.
Walked in here looking like a chicken. The worst damn outfit I've ever seen. I've seen some bad outfits on boxers before, but
that was one.
But the superior chicken George.
It was nice.
crazy Steve.
You know, I don't blame him, Steve. I blame whoever put that together
The
and
stylist.
sold it to him. That's who need their behind whooped.
I know Deontay had to say, "You think it's gonna look all right?"
All
And
right,
he
well,
said,
describe
"Yeah."
it.
At one point, he said, "Ain't enough feathers. Put more feathers."
You know, I actually thought it was going to be a draw the moment it ended.
Did you?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a draw because I was scoring the fight as I went along. And what happened was Tyson Fury was outpointing him.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, so he had accumulated too many 10-9 rounds. So they if you win a round, they say you won a round 10-9. If you get a knockdown in a round, that's a 10-8 round. If you score a knockdown, it's a 10-8 round.
Right.
To the person that scored the knockdown. Now, Wilder had two 10-8 rounds. So you got to do it like that. So it's 12 rounds in the fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say 7 of the rounds Tyson Fury won because he was outpointing Wilder. He was just outpointing him. Because, you know, he was throwing big punches, Wilder was, but he was getting outpointed. Surprisingly to me, he was getting outpointed. He kept that jab in his face.
He did. He kept tackling with that jab.
So I had him winning 7-8 rounds. I'm going to be honest with you, man.
Mm-hmm.
I had Tyson Fury winning 7-8 rounds. Okay, let's say 7 rounds.
Uh-huh.
And then you got the other 4 rounds that went, the other 5 rounds that would go to him. So that's 12. But you got a 10-8 round and a 10-8 round, which would give him the points of 7. I'm doing this wrong, but anyway, I got it for a draw. Because I just
came
felt
up
like
with a draw like the judges did.
Yeah, I thought it was a draw. I was not mad at the draw. Because both of them have belts.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is the millennial, whatever they call it, champ, and the other one is WBC. So they need to unify these belts. Everybody got a belt. So in order to take somebody else's belt, you got to beat him.
Mm-hmm.
When he knocked him down that second time,
I thought that was
it.
it.
How he got it.
I don't know how he got it from that. In the 12th, I thought that was
crazy
it.
when he got up, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he looked crazy.
When he got up, everybody was like,
He don't know how he got up.
Yeah.
But I saw it, man. And can I say this, man? I love Wilder, but he needs a trainer.
Why he doesn't have a trainer?
He needs a real knowledgeable corner man in his corner to train him. Because he's still throwing his punches too looped. He threw a couple of them swatted punches with the palm of his fist. I saw 3 of them yesterday.
Former boxer Steve Harvey, by the way.
I mean, he needs a real. He need to go get Tony Atlas, or he need to see if somebody will come out that really know the game, man.
That he'll listen to.
Yeah, he'll listen to.
Yeah, he need Floyd's daddy.
Oh.
He need Floyd daddy. Or Floyd is Floyd uncle.
Uncle, yeah.
Roger.
Yeah.
He need a fight guy.
He need a guy who's a fighter who has boxed
because
before.
he got Mark Breland in his corner, but Mark Breland obviously, and I'm just going by what I saw in the corner. He's not a good fight. Mark Breland wasn't that great of a fighter. As long as he was winning on the outside, he was good. But if he got inside, he didn't know what he was doing. Same thing James Wilder looked like.
And from the fight part I saw, Steve, I watched the whole fight.
Yeah.
Tyson really could have knocked him out.
I thought he
would've
could a
pressed
couple
it.
times.
If he had really pressed it, he could have knocked him out.
Bruh, he had him. If you look at Wilder's face, he took the worst end of the whipping.
No.
He did. Yeah.
And Tyson Fury got a nasty feint, man.
Yeah, he does.
Man, he know how to throw you off
He's very
balance.
unorthodox. He
Man.
looked like he's shaking and nervous the whole time. Then he hit you. And like,
God.
man,
That's the Jedi mind tricks, Jay.
Yeah.
But man, he had the better looking boxing jabs. He had
Who
the
had
better
that, Fury?
feints.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury. That's what I'm looking at. I'm just saying, Wilder needs somebody real in his corner, cause he ain't got enough knowledge in his corner. And I'm sorry, but the white guy that puts the body bag on that's showing him the stuff to do, he don't know enough. He does not know enough, man. He needs a new trainer.
Now, Steve, I got a soundbite for you from Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd, what is your assessment of what you're seeing here?
Well, what I see is Deontay Wilder. He's dependent just on one shot. He's looking for one big shot. And as a fighter, you have to use other weapons. Fury using combinations and a very, very fast jab and taking his time. So I think that if Deontay Wilder don't do something else, it looks like Fury's going to win if it goes the distance.
You have all the rounds so far to Fury?
5-0 so far. Deontay Wilder, a hell of a fighter. I love Deontay Wilder. Fury, a very, unorthodox boxer. A good matchup.
He's right. He need a trainer. He needs somebody to show him how to get that one punch in. He quick enough to have a nice jab, and he tall enough.
Right.
Jab, 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 jab. That set up all that stuff. You just got your right hand cocked. Hell, he saw it coming all day. He need a trainer, man. He needs somebody to teach him the fight game, because his fighting skills are not good. He couldn't have whooped Riddick Bowe. He couldn't have whooped Buster Douglas.
Lennox Lewis.
He couldn't have whooped Lennox Lewis.
Mike Tyson.
Razor Ruddock. Mike Tyson. Man, Mike Tyson would have killed his ass. He couldn't have
You think he can beat Joshua?
No.
That dude
Not
Joshua
that
ain't
shot,
that good
yeah.
either,
Yeah,
man.
but not with that performance last
No,
night.
that dude Joshua ain't none of these new dudes. Foreman, Frazier, Norton, Holmes would have whooped this boy ass and all these boy ass.
All
I'm
in
just
one
telling
night.
you.
All in one night.
When
All
been no
three of them.
fight, ain't no, it better fighters now. No, the hell it ain't.
All right, listen, go to Steve Harvey
You got
FM
any talking about no Ali.
and tell us your opinion on the fight. Fury or Wilder, who do you think won? And do you want a rematch? Up next, entertainment news right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Global Music Festival this weekend, guys. Mandela 100 took place over the weekend, like I said, to honor Nelson Mandela's work to end poverty. Mandela 100, it was an all-day event in Johannesburg, South Africa. It included musical sets by Beyonce and Jay-Z, Pharrell, Ed Sheeran, Chris Martin of Coldplay. Usher was there and other African artists. South African comedian Trevor Noah and also Dave Chappelle were on the stage to support the cause. Beyonce's performance brought the crowd to their feet, and before the event, Beyonce wrote an open letter dedicated to Mr. Mandela, saying, in part, your kindness and gratitude for every experience and your ability to forgive are lessons I have learned and will pass on to my 3 children. My entire family holds you in high regard. What nice words. Yeah. And in other news, we talked about this a little bit earlier.
And excuse me, and right there, Shirley.
Yes.
Beyonce said, your willingness to forgive.
Yeah.
See, if you when a person passes, you have to learn from situations. If you can't forgive, you're doing nothing but doing damage to yourself. One of the main lines in the Lord's Prayer is, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. That's how it's done. If you don't ever start forgiving folks, I got news for you, man. Your life in trouble.
Yeah,
forgiving is not so much for the other person as it is for
it's
you.
For you.
Because it keeps that acid attitude inside of you for the longest.
Yeah.
It really does.
And you can move on with your
you
life. You can move on. You're not stuck back there. Yes, Steve.
And you are going to require forgiveness yourself.
Thank you.
Shortly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It won't be no long time before you need
That's
it.
right. And also in other news, as I was saying, we talked about this earlier, Steve. George H.W. Bush, George Herbert Walker Bush, the 41st president of the United States, died Friday night at his home in Houston. He was 94 years old. His passing came less than 8 months after his wife Barbara Bush died. Wow. After 73 years of marriage, J. Anthony Brown. Yes. 73 years.
How many years?
Okay. 73. President Bush served as president for one term from 1989 to 1993. There will be a 4-day tribute to President Bush. He will lie in state from 5 p.m. Monday until 10 a.m. on Wednesday. A funeral at the Washington National Cathedral, and his burial will be at the George Bush Presidential Library. R.I.P. George H.W. Bush. No one said an unkind word about this man. You look at all the tributes that were going on over the weekend.
No, they saved all their unkind words for Yolanda Adams.
Yeah.
The picture with they funky behind.
Yeah.
Now tell people, because if they may not have heard, you talked about this earlier with Yolanda Adams, Steve.
Yolanda Adams posted a picture of her and a few other former presidents, and George Bush was one of them. And she admired him because he used to hire her a lot to do this events that him and his wife Barbara had. And they were so close that, she called him Daddy Bush. And she wrote that on her post, and all of a sudden the hate that was sent towards Yolanda Adams, well, you a Republican now? Did you realize what he did? Wait a minute. I just didn't appreciate why they tried to do my little sister, and y'all ain't gonna do it because I'm gonna.
All right, Steve. Let's go on to headlines now, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Ann Tripp, Bush was one of them, and she admired him because he used to hire her. That him and his wife Barbara had, and they were so close that she called him Daddy Bush. And she wrote that on her post, and all of a sudden the hate that was sent towards Yolanda Adams, well, oh, you a Republican now? You know, did you realize what he did? Wait a minute. I just didn't appreciate what he tried to do my little sister, and y'all ain't going to do it because I'm going to.
All right, Steve. Let's go on to headlines now, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Ann Tripp.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Steve. Good morning, everybody. This is Ann Tripp with the news. And yes, tributes are pouring in for President Herbert Walker Bush, who died on Friday at age 94. Ceremonies are planned in Washington and Texas for the first President Bush. His body is to lie in state in the Capitol Rotunda today, tomorrow, until Wednesday morning, when there's to be a funeral service for the 41st Commander-in-Chief at the National Cathedral. Bush is then to be taken to his home in Houston for memorial services there. And the 41st president is to be laid at one rest on Thursday next to his late wife, Barbara, at his presidential library and museum in a place called College Station in Texas. President Trump has declared Wednesday, by the way, a national day of mourning for the president, who was a Navy man, a vice president, and CIA director before becoming elected president. Politicians from all over the world on both sides of the political aisle paying tributes. Former President Obama says, quote, America has lost a patriot and a humble servant. He described the tremendous good that Mr. Bush accomplished, from helping new immigrants to reducing nuclear weapons and to ending the Cold War without firing a shot. By the way, former President Obama was supposed to be on a book tour, and he said he's canceled all his dates to make sure he can attend the funeral for the former president. It's that time again. The federal government apparently runs out of money on Friday. President Trump's been pushing for his promised border wall again. However, in the wake of the death of the first President Bush, Trump's stance seems to have softened a bit where it pertains to signing a short-term budget extension.
If they come, which they have, to talk about an extension because of President Bush's passing, I would absolutely consider it and probably give it.
At 10 p.m. tonight, HBO check out a new film on the death of Sandra Bland, the black woman arrested by a white cop in a small Texas town and found hanging by a noose in her cell. Her sister, Sharon Cooper, tells me the project's been in the works for a while.
We actually started filming this shortly after her passing, and we were just able to wrap things up. And so what I view it as is an opportunity to bring a level of awareness to an issue, not just that Sandy happened 3 years ago, but the fact that there has always been a consistent adverse impact on black women and girls.
And the film is entitled Say Her Name, The Life and Death of Sandra Bland, HBO 10 p.m. Now back to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, these are definitely some scary times we're living in right now. Magic Johnson's daughter had to flee a San Fernando Valley house where two armed men staged an early morning home evasion.
Say what now, Shirley?
Magic Johnson's daughter, Elisa Johnson.
Yeah.
She was at an Airbnb over the weekend. It was rented by some friends. Sunday morning, two men got inside and started terrorizing the 10 people who were staying there. Elisa was in a bedroom and heard the commotion, and this is according to TMZ. They reported that she fled through a sliding glass door at the back of the home and ran down the street to escape harm. Meanwhile, the suspects cleaned out the home and fled before police arrived. We're told that they made off with the Rolex and other jewelry, cash, and electronics for a total haul worth about between $30,000 and $40,000. Thank goodness Elisa Johnson is okay. No one else in the house suffered any physical injuries. And police are on the case, of course.
You got to really be careful, man.
Yeah, this is at an Airbnb, you know. That was rented. So, yeah, I'm glad she's okay and, you know, no one was harmed.
But let me say something to young people. I don't know that this is the case, but it seems to me like it just so happens that these 10 people are at this particular Airbnb and some robbers show up. I don't know that this is the case, but a lot of times these dudes follow people on Instagram. That's how a lot of basketball players get jacked on NBA weekends and all this here. Because they follow where they going, what they doing. They look at their stories on their Instagram and they show up. And I'm not saying this is what's happening, but it's really strange that this one particular Airbnb gets hit with these kids in it, and all of a sudden this type of stuff is taken.
Yeah.
I want people to be careful.
Media warning.
I want people to be careful about that.
Yeah. And they should, absolutely. You're so right. Yeah, as parents of, young adults, teens, you constantly have to remind your kids. Times are just different now. They're just not like it was when we were all growing up. It's just really different with social media. It brings a whole nother element into the situation.
It's horrible, man. You have to pay attention and be careful.
Yeah, I've heard on the news that they even said to everyone, don't even post when you're going on vacation.
Don't do none of that.
Right,
don't do
none
it.
of that
No,
stuff.
I don't post none of that.
Yeah, so you're right, Steve, to give warning. You're right.
So thank you for that, Steve. Yeah. All right, listen, coming up next, Steve Jr. and Jay are going to talk more about the fight. You guys are into this fight, huh?
I can't believe what he had on.
It was a draw, though. It's a draw. All right, coming up 34 after. We'll be back.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, you guys talked about the fight last hour very passionately, I might add. Junior, we asked last hour on Steve Harvey FM if people wanted to see a rematch between Fury and Wilder. So far, it's a resounding yes.
Yeah.
They want him to get after it again.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, they have to fight again.
Why?
They have to?
Yeah, they have to.
It was a draw because it was a
draw.
draw. Yeah.
Plus,
you wanna
they
see a
need
clear
to
winner?
turn the heavyweight division into something.
Yeah, like it used to be, right?
We watch more middleweight now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heavyweight used
Floyd
to be
and all
it.
them.
Yeah.
No, you watch more welterweight.
Welterweight. Yeah.
Walter.
Who's Walter?
Walter Wait.
Y'all can say what you want to say, but at least I know what the hell I'm talking.
It's Walter. Of course you
y'all
do.
Y'all can call it welterweight.
That's what it is. We didn't make it up.
It's welterweight when you talking to fighters. you talk to any fighter and they'll tell you, yeah, we welterweight. You just say, watch how they say it.
All right, Steve. Go ahead. We'll let you have that.
I mean, this dude, and the thing about when he got up, he got up and started whooping on Wilder.
Yeah.
I mean, but you could see where Wilder was just gassed because he throws, someone has to train him how to go in for the kill without blowing yourself up. He could have went to the body a few times just to get his hands down, then cracked him in the head. But he just started throwing from his other side. He was putting his right hand back on his right ass. He was taking his right hand and putting it on his left ass and swinging back around with it. I mean, and then, dog, he was just gassed. The dude has talent, man. Wow. He has charisma. He speaks well. Wilder, man, if he had a real trainer in his corner, because the dudes he got is too young. They don't know nothing about boxing. When I saw Mark Breland in there, I said, okay, this
Who's that, Steve?
Mark Breland used to fight, once again, welterweight.
He wasn't that good, though.
Well, he was, I think he fought Olympics. I mean,
What
he
division
was
is
good,
that,
but he
Steve?
was never going to be,
He
up
never
there
was
with them
champion.
boys.
Jay has a question for you.
What division is that he fought in? Welterweight, you said?
You heard him. Now, wait, before we run out of time, Steve, I got Wilder's.
I got out of the game plan a little bit because I was trying to get him out of there. And I know when I try to get a guy out of there, it never happens. It never happened. I know that. That's a lesson I learned a long time ago, and I just resort back to it. I could never, get out of there. I wanted to get him out. I guess it was just the building up to the fight, just really just wanted to knock him out, for the fans, first pay-per-view, just, all that stuff take accountable. But like I said, I'm a man of few excuses. I'm very happy with the performance. I'm happy with the outcome, and we live to see another day and do it again for you guys. The fans win. The fan win in this one. This was a hell of a fight to really just determine who's the best in the heavyweight division. And the heavyweight division is just on fire right now. I think this takes it even more farther to the top.
What did he say that for?
First of all, the heavyweight division is not on fire. It had caught on fire years ago. It didn't burn.
The fire is fizzled out.
Yeah.
It's fizzled
it's
out,
smoldering
Steve.
now.
Yeah.
We as ashes right now.
We didn't even know you was champ till last week.
Dog.
Thank you, Junior.
Heavyweight division ain't been on fire since Tyson was in it.
Yeah.
That's the last time the heavyweight division been on fire. Let's stop this, and you got to get another trainer, bro. Your team cannot get you to the next level. You might be 39-0, 39-1, but you need a trainer, man.
All right, up next, we're going to have the prank phone call from, Junior, you'll have to introduce it because the nephew is not here, but we'll do it coming up right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up at the top of the hour, right about 4 minutes after, it's today's Strawberry Letter. Subject, my neighbors are ghetto fabulous. We'll talk about that. But right now, the nephew is not here, but we got the cousin. We got Junior in the building with the prank phone call. What you got, Junior?
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
How ignorant y'all want me to be?
Oh, really?
Come on, boy.
Here it is. Your Christmas decoration.
Hello? I'm trying to reach Cecil. Yeah, this Cecil. What's going on? Hey, this Manny, man. I live like about 4 or 5 streets over from you. How you doing, brother? I'm doing good, man. How you doing? I'm good. Hey, I see you got your Christmas lights up, right? Yeah, I got them up. I got my whole little theme and everything set up, man. It's looking real good. Okay, let me ask you something, man. The theme you got in your yard, where you get that idea from? What you mean, where I get them from? The idea, like you got a snowman, you got Santa Claus, some reindeers, you got your whole house decorated, you got Jesus with the manger and the wise men around him. Where did you get your idea from? I'm lost. What you talking about, man? You asked me where I got a theme from. I mean, you trying to imply something? I'm asking you a question. Where did you get the idea from? I made this up. Jesus and the manger, that represents Christmas, man. You go with a theme that's Christmas-based, man, and that's Christmas-based. Jesus is Christmas. Jesus in Jerusalem and Bethlehem. And, hey, what's going on, man? Who are you? Where you get my number from anyway? I'm Manny, man. I'm Manny. I got your number from one of the people that live on your street, and I'm just asking you on the real where you get this idea from. I made this idea up. I made this up, man. I made this up. This is the second time you asked me where I get this idea from. What are you trying to imply? Okay, here go the real deal, dog. The same thing you got, if you come 4 streets over, I got the same thing in my yard, and it looked like you done stole my idea. And see, what you ain't gonna do is try to win Christmas yard of the season, and you done stole my idea. That's the problem I got with you. No, the problem you got is life and twisted, okay? Because, see, I put this together without it. I never even heard of you, Manny, to begin with. Secondly, I've been doing this particular theme in my yard since I've been staying over here. I've been staying over here 6 years. You ain't had that theme last year. You ain't had that last year. I had this theme last year and the year before. And I put my stuff in the same place every damn time I put it down. You did not have this last year. First of all, who are you to call me and tell me about my theme and about my yard and what you got going on? I know you ain't copying me. Hey, man, I'm going to tell you right now, and I ain't finna go no further. You need to rearrange your theme and get a different theme because you got the same theme I got. No, you need to rearrange your okay? Because I ain't rearranging Jack over here. Hey, man, let me tell you something. Let's get that understood. If I got to come over there, let me tell you something, man, and I'm being real as I can be with you. If I got to come over there and unplug some stuff. If you got to what? Come what? If I got to come over to your house and unplug some stuff. Unplug? No. See, if anything, my foot will be getting unplugged from your First of all, you ain't finna come on my street in my house and disrespect me at all about anything that I got set up in my yard. Secondly, I ain't finna let it go down that way. I tell you what, then I'm just gonna do this here. I'm finna just come over there and take Jesus and take the take them wise men out your yard. That's what I'm finna do. You come over this way talking about messing with Jesus and the manger, it's gonna be some real problems. Because first of all, that's fake. Secondly, that's the center of the thing. Now, if you want to come over here and you want to try to do something like that, you gonna need Jesus to help you because there's gonna be some rolling around going on. You try to come up to my yard with the bottom line is this right here. You got the nerve to do the same theme I got. I'm 4 streets over. I'm driving through looking at everybody's looking at everybody's theme. You the only one that copied my theme. The same way, the same place, every doggone year. Ain't nobody ever told me your stuff look like Manny from 4, 5, 6. Who the hell is Manny any?
way. Men ain't got no right coming on my street because you don't stay on this street. You going around looking at people still trying to get your ideas, man. You not original.
No, I'm very original. I moved to this neighborhood before you did. I've been here 10 years. You've been here about 6. How long you been living over here?
I've been living over here 6 years. This subdivision was just coming up when I came over here. How you gonna tell me you've been running your team longer than I've been running mine? Who you crazy?
Hey man,
I ain't got time for this, man. You know what? I got better things to do. I still got some more lights put up.
Hey,
I got
you know what? I ain't finna go back and forth. What I'm finna tell you is just right here. I'm finna come take Jesus off your yard. I'm finna take Jesus in them wires.
You can't take Jesus out of my yard. Now see, now you sounding like one of them crazy people. You talking about taking Jesus out of my life? That's where you got life and messed up. Come on over here. I got something waiting on.
Hey man, look here. Don't turn your lights on tonight.
No, my light's gonna be on tonight, tomorrow night, and every other night. Talking about taking my Jesus in the manger. I'm original as original can be. Come over here if you want to. I got something for you, man.
You done stole my idea.
And what talking about this stealing ideas? Come on around here and let's settle this.
Hey, dog. Let me tell you something right now. Jesus and them wise men is coming out your yard today.
No. You know what, man? I'm through with you, man. I'm through with you. You know what? Come over here if you want to. Touch my baby Jesus. Touch my manger. Touch Mary and Joseph and the wise men. And I'm going to put the North Star over your literally.
Hey, man. Hey.
I don't know where you get my number from. Who are you anyway? Who are you, man? I tell you what. You talking about coming over here, messing with anything in my yard? My is on timer, okay? Set to go off every evening at dusk. As soon as it starts getting dark, my going on. Let my not come on tonight. It's going to be some for your
Hey, dog. Anyway. Why you can't come up with your own theme, man? Why you can't do
my
your
own
own
thing?
thing?
Look here, I tell you what, man. Who the are you anyway? We can squash this right now. You stay 4, 5 streets over. What kind of car you got in your driveway? I'll come find you, little come deal with you right now. Where you at?
Hey, dog.
Right now, where you at?
You know what? Don't worry about where I'm at. I'm gonna be there when your lights come on tonight.
Now, I'm going to come find you.
No, your lights ain't coming on tonight.
What? Never not come on tonight. There's going to be some problems in your life. It's going to be hard to breathe for you. I'm letting you know this.
Hey, man. First of all.
Who are you anyway, man? You done called me out of the blue telling me that you going to come disconnect my life and steal my manger and take my baby Jesus out the manger. And who are you? You sitting up here accusing me of stealing your thing? When it's been my thing for all these years, 6 years I've been doing this, and I won best yard 3 years running in this season. No, I think you trying to get my.
But see, the problem is you done won best yard because you stealing my idea.
How can I be stealing your man? You know what? You and your and I'm ready to deal with your right.
Hey, dog. I'm not finna go back and forth with you. You stole my Jesus theme, dog.
Hold on, wait a minute. How can I have won best yard 3 years running? And you saying I got the thing from you? You should have been getting it. You must not be doing it right.
Let me go on and say this to you right now, dog.
Well, say this. What?
Larry on your street told me to call you.
Larry told you to call me. Who? Larry gave you my number.
Larry and Tommy told me to call you.
Larry and Tommy told you to call me.
Do you know who Tommy is?
Larry ain't never mentioned no name Tommy to me. Who the Tommy?
I'm Tommy. I'm nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. You just got pranked by your boy Larry, man.
Nephew Tommy. From Steve Harvey Morning Show. Larry did this to me.
Larry told me to call you. He said you win every single year, the Christmas yard of the year, man.
Still, but it's kind of funny now. Hey, yeah,
Let me ask you something. What's the baddest radio show in the land?
Oh, man, hands down, no doubt. Steve Harvey Morning Show with nephew Tommy.
There it is. Huh?
What?
Huh? What? Come on, y'all. Give it to me.
Best.
Give it to me. Shirley, Carla, I don't hear nothing.
Yeah, you were stupid.
Yeah. What you said. All that.
Team Tommy.
Yeah. Ain't no recipe coming around.
Better. Yeah, ain't nobody better than you, boy. You're the greatest I've ever seen.
Because stupid.
Man,
ain't no recipe coming around once a year.
It's like he's here.
Yeah,
Just like it, right?
exactly. All right, thank you, Junior. Up next, it is
ha-cha-cha-cha. One more time.
I love the ha-cha-cha-cha. All right, thank you, Junior. Up next, it is today's Strawberry Letter. Subject: my neighbors are ghetto fabulous. Right after this.
My sister wrote this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
It is time now, guys, for the Strawberry Letter for today. If you need some advice on relationships, on dating, work, sex, parenting, and more, please submit your strawberry letter to Steve Harvey FM and click Submit Strawberry Letter. Junior, are you ready?
Yes, I am. It's time for the strawberry letter with my good friend, Shirley Strawberry.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much, sir. Subject, my neighbors are ghetto fabulous. Dear Steve and Shirley, I am a 32-year-old single black man. I am a college professor, and I just bought my first condo in a nice new development in a quiet suburb. I come from a family of educators, and I was taught to be well-behaved and to mind my manners at all times. For this reason, I'm having a big problem with my new neighbors. They're a young married couple, and they are, pardon the expression, ghetto as heck. So far, we are the only blacks in the community, and they are just too much. Even though we have central air conditioning in the building, their windows are always up, so you can hear everything that's going on at their house. The TV is up so loud, and they talk loudly 24/7. I can hear the guy yell to his wife from across the hall, Shamika! Shamika! Girl, you hear me? When they are going down the stairs outside, it sounds like they're about to tear them down. Whenever they pull up to park, their music is blasting. I don't know what's wrong with them. 2 other neighbors have complained about the noise, but they are afraid to talk to the guy. So they asked me to do it. I tried to talk to him and told him there have been a few complaints, but he was not trying to hear it, and he said he will do as he darn well pleases in his own home. I called the cops a couple of times to report a noise disturbance, but nothing's changed. I don't want to come across as being uppity, but I am embarrassed by them. They are living up to every stereotype about our race. I may have to rent out my condo and move somewhere else. How would you handle this? Well, I would definitely rent out my condo if I could. If I could do that, I would. I mean, your home is supposed to be, your sanctuary, your safe haven. If you can't have peace and quiet in your own home, you would have to make some changes, I would think. You could definitely choose where you want to live. And I'm sure your condo wasn't cheap, and you shouldn't have to tolerate this sort of foolishness. I think you should. I really do think you should rent it out. This way, Shamik and them don't have to find out that it's you calling the police on them. Because if they found out, I don't think that would be pretty. Because you already know he said he had words with you when you went over there to tell him about it. So I say leave them alone. Try to rent out your place, or try to take a different approach. Maybe invite them over and practice some of those manners that you grew up learning. Being well behaved and all of that. Yeah. Invite them over. You never know. They may change. They may change. You never know.
Nothing to change in here.
Steve? Go ahead.
Man, I don't know how would you handle it? Or not the way you is. See, I don't know how to put this to you, man. I understand you're 32, single. You're a college professor. You bought your first condo in a new development, quiet. Come from family educators, you're well-behaved, mind your manners. But you got these neighbors, man, they're a young couple, but they ghetto as hell. Yeah. They're hooding them to move in. Mm-hmm. And I understand the dilemma you got, man, because what you do, man, sometimes, man, you work hard, you try to better yourself, and you try to put yourself in a better position. It's a common thing for a lot of people to move out the hood, even though there's a lot of good in the hood, man. A lot of great people there, a lot of great churches, businesses, teachers, police officers, a lot of good stuff in the hood. Now, the hood get a bad rap, but you know why we get a bad rap. And you know who give us the bad rap. Because it's just enough for us that stay there. Ooh. 2 of them done moved out with you. Now, they loud. Y'all got central air, but they windows is always up. That's a hood move. You know that. In the projects you open your window. You run this air bill up. We know we got central air. We gonna let this air in here save some of their money. So they got them windows up because they got to hold down on that central air so they can stay there. You can't lose your house because you can't pay for the air. So you hear everything they going on. TV loud, they loud. Hood people talk loud.
Oh, do they?
Usually because it's real crowded in your house. There's a bunch of other people in there talking. Hey!
That's what I want to hear.
Hey, man, you hear me? Go down to the store. You want to go to the store? You go to the store. I ain't going to no damn store. I've already been in the store.
Yeah.
Could have been nowhere. Where you go? I ain't going nowhere. Let you quit asking me. You ask somebody else. Look, you want to go to the store? Anybody want to? He said he ain't going.
Who? Look.
You go to the store. Look, something been in the store. Can I use your car? Yeah, no, you can't use my car. That's Steve on that Family Feud. That boy crazy. Boy, that boy great. I love Family Feud. Boy, that boy right there. Look what Steve told him. What he got on?
That's the hood.
That's it.
That's the hood talking
That's it right there,
That's
Steve.
it.
Yeah, I like that right there, Steve. That's y'all. Anyway, where we go? So now, you dealing with that. He yelling out, Shamika! Shamika, you hear me?
You hear me?
Yeah, she hear you. She ignoring you. Now, the two other neighbors done complained about the noise.
Ooh, I love them.
They not black because y'all done said y'all are only blacks out there. So some non-blacks done complained, but they scared to ask him. So they done went to the other black, which is you.
Yep.
And asked you to go talk to that black because maybe he'll take it better coming from your blackness.
Yeah.
But see, black and hood is different things.
Yeah.
Now, you don't want to come across as uppity, but you went over there and you tried talking to him. And what did he tell you? You said, hey, man, I've been, trying to tell you there's been a few complaints. Ain't anybody trying to hear that. I do the hell I want. Dog, this is my house. Famous hood words.
Yeah.
These my house. I've used them before in suburban neighborhoods. With neighbors who have said stuff to me.
Hello.
I don't want to come across as being uppity, but I'm embarrassed by them. Yes, you are. They can be embarrassing, especially when you trying to act like you something. And they ain't trying to act like nothing except who they is.
All right, Steve, hold on. Hang on to that thought. We'll have part two
I may have to rent out my condo. I'm not renting out my damn.
of your response
I'm
coming
going
up
to tell you what you need to say when you get it.
at 23 after the hour. Subject of my strawberry letter for today, my neighbors are ghetto fabulous. We'll be back right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, here we go. Let's recap today's strawberry letter, and then let's get on with part two of your response. My neighbors are ghetto fabulous is the subject.
Now, he don't want to go over there and talk to this fool because they loud, they ghetto. They represent every stereo about the race. The other neighbors done complain. They didn't ask him since he black because he act like he must know him or know a special way to break it to him. He done went over there and talked to this fool. This fool and got loud with him, told him, can't nobody tell him what to do. He's just his damn house. So, now the professor dude, young 32, and got his money together, moved out. He trying not to come uppity, but he says, I'm embarrassed by them. They are living to every stereotype about our race. I may have to rent out my condo and move somewhere else. How would you handle this? They not running me out my house. I'm just going to say that to you right now. They're not running me out of my house. I got to at least take one more stab at this. I got to go over there and just tell them, hey man, look here. Hey, Demetrius, let me talk to you. Hey man, can we go somewhere and just go for a ride? See, you got to get his ass away from his house. You got to get him somewhere away from his house where you could talk to him. Take him down to the park. Say, hey, look, bro. I know, man, you and your wife, man, probably moved out here, man, because y'all doing good. Y'all just want to get a taste of the good life, man. Probably come up hard and everything, and you just trying to make it better for yourself. Me too, man. But you got these white folks in here looking at us crazy right now. I'm going to just be real with you. They looking at us straight crazy, man. And they looking at us crazy because of your ass, Demetrius. You and Shamika in here, man. And I'm telling y'all, man, I bought this place right here, man. And dog, man, they just think all this is this way. And I know you want better than this, man. Y'all probably want to have some kids and have your kids come up, man. But damn, dog, we got to do better, man. We can't let these, man, we can't let them feel this way about us. You feel me? No, hell no, I don't feel nothing.
That's Demetrius.
No, I don't know why. What, they send you up here?
They.
So you may have to do it a different way, dog. I would have some people talk with him. You know, some my cousins.
Like oh.
Go visit him. Yeah, I'm just telling you what I do. Now, he's not going to do this. He probably going to have to rent his little place out because he bush. He a little college professor and stuff. He ain't had his ass whoop or nothing. So he going to go there with Demetrius and Shamika going to whoop his ass. So he probably need to go and get out. Yeah, he probably need to go and get out. So let's do a reenactment.
Oh, God.
I'm Demetrius. Jay, you come over to the house to tell me I'm live.
Oh, I thought he was going to be Shamika.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be Shamika, yeah. I want to be Shamika.
Okay.
You know he does, Steve.
Yeah.
You know he want to be Shamika.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, this going to be after.
We the couple. We going over there.
We the
together,
couple,
right?
And this after the dude then talk to me about piping
You coming back to tell me what he said. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you just got back.
I love it.
All right.
Baby.
What up?
Baby,
What's up? What's
Shamika,
going on?
look here.
Hold on.
You know,
Let me turn this chicken over. I got chicken cooking right now, and I'm gonna turn that over.
Hold on. No.
I had that door open, so I know you smelled it all the way down the hallway.
No.
So I like to keep my door open.
No.
Uh-oh.
Black bastard.
Hey, that's not a reenactment.
This is the reenactment.
That's real.
See, that's what Demetrius was talking about. Now, baby, let me tell you something. Demetrius told me, man, we need to pipe down a little bit, baby. We talking too loud.
You talking about up at that ass, Demetrius, sister?
Yeah, that's him.
Fifth floor?
Yeah.
Up on the fifth floor?
Yeah.
The one that wear his sweat around his shirt like he all betting everybody else?
Yeah.
He said something to you about us?
Baby, he gonna take me down to the park and talk to me. Told me him and the white folk up in here tripping cause we be talking loud, our TV loud, and we go down the steps like we tearing them up and all this.
You got to be lying to me. When that happened? When all this happened?
Today, this morning.
You know, I been want to whip his ass just on PG. Just
See, that's crazy, ain't it?
I know.
I said, damn, you know what I'm saying? Damn, dog. So we bruhs, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get him, you know, to understand, you know, how we is and everything. And he said, well, we wasn't.
You know, I think he better enough because he drive Mercedes, whatever that Mercedes Benzes. He got Mercedes Benzes. He drive Mercedes Benzes, right? So he think he bad enough because we still driving shit. We got the same money. We in here, right? And we in here.
Hell yeah, we got the same money. But see, the whole problem is, though, he probably just trying to fit in where he get in. You know what I'm saying? Probably got an application in down at Country Club and everything. I said, damn, dog. I said, why don't you just come on up in here? Look, me and my girl be drinking 40s on the weekend.
Come on up. Act like folk. Come on upstairs. Act like people.
Hell yeah. You know, we got that the grill out on the balcony.
I'm talking about you got to smell what we cooking. Come on up and get some. Don't act like you ain't chilling.
Hey, Meek, listen to this here. Then he come talking about, no, that gives policy. You ain't really supposed to have no grill on the balcony.
I ain't never seen no policy say that.
Well, where you gonna barbecue at?
And where you gonna dry your delicate things but out on the balcony? Where you gonna dry them at?
Man, these people right here, man. This crazy, man. This dude, man, I said, damn, D.
There ain't nothing but foolishness. Man. Straight foolishness. He talk to you like that. Like a man to man. He talk to you man to man like that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going like, damn, dog. You know, we can't even get up in here and like be ourselves no more.
You know, I know he upstairs now. Hey, Demetrius, you got something to say? Bring your ass down here and talk to me and my husband, okay?
See, baby, he don't want to. See, we hollering, people hear that.
That's the only way you can communicate with his ass. You got to holler at him.
Oh, wait, hold on 1 second. Who is you? What are you at the door for?
I could hear y'all.
You can hear her?
Yeah, all the way upstairs.
If you wasn't in that damn doorway, you wouldn't be able to hear. Why don't you get your ass away from this door?
You know what?
Man, There's another one of them neighbors. Shamika, there's another one of them neighbors just came up in here.
Coming up at the top of the hours, we got to go, guys.
That little sick-ass lady, stay downstairs.
Games you can't play over the holidays. We'll discuss right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up at the top of the hour, you know who will be here to discuss Week 13 in the NFL. Pimpin!
Pimpin?
Yeah. Right now, though, it is time for games you can't play. You can't play over the holidays. Jay, please explain.
Okay. Here it is.
What?
I got it. All right, here we go. The holidays are coming around, and going to have folks over to the house. So what I'm going to do is set up the game, tell a little bit about it. Steve Jr. going to jump in and make and explain how the games get worse. Start off good. Sound like a good idea. Sound like a good idea. But then as the game progresses, problems arise. Let's simple game of spades. We're going to play some spades. We're going to set up the table. We're going to play some spades.
Okay.
And then everything happened. Somebody started cheating. You got that problem.
Renege. Man, the first time somebody reneged, you swear it was a dead body in the room. Man.
So you can't play that. People don't know how to lose and just take it. They take it personal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they take it real personal.
All right, say you're going to go outside, play some touch football. Get the family, everybody just play some touch football.
Okay.
You got a grown-ass man think it's cool to run over a third grader. Just run over his ass.
Just punish him.
That ain't cool.
Dude,
Yeah.
just punish him, man.
Damn, man, we playing football.
Yeah.
This is a kid. This is a child.
Go all out. You haven't been putting him on me. You know how I am. You put him to check me. You put him to check me. Look what I'm going to do to him.
Oh, my God.
Damn, man, what you out here for?
You come to play or you come to play? What?
It go wrong. It go wrong.
So
All right, here's
kids.
another.
Sit him in there,
All right.
man. You sit him in there, like, hey, this is all I got to say. If you can't handle the heat, get out this kitchen.
Get out this kitchen. I don't care if you're 8.
I don't care if you're 8.
I don't care. No. Let him cry.
Let him cry.
He got to learn. He got to learn. This is a man's game. All right.
That's cruel.
Yeah.
Here it is. Here's another game you can't play.
Okay.
You want to play dominoes, but you got that dude that he been away for a while, and he take this game a little bit too serious. You know what I mean? He been away. He been in the system. He been locked up. So dominoes, dominoes is a different game to him.
Yeah, you shouldn't have been here, man. Now you want to play. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up, dog. Hold up, dog. I just sent you to the yard on them trades.
What you talking about?
Man.
Wow.
Hold up, dog. You just went to the yard on them trades. You ain't had no trade minute ago.
What you talking about?
Hold on, I'm talking about your ass is up in there. Oh, you trying to. Oh, you can mess around and get shanked. What's going to happen to you, partner?
You're out now.
You're out now, man. We don't
free.
shake people.
No. Okay. I'm going to need 2 packs of cigarettes for that.
at the holiday party.
That's all I'm saying. And I'm going to need them 2 packs next time I see you, partner.
Playing dominoes in an undershirt.
We can't play that. We got to play another game. All right, now we're gonna go back outside, try to play just a simple game, family game of dodgeball. It's the same guy who think it's a lot of fun to hit a third grader with a 90-mile-an-hour ball. He think that's a lot of fun.
In the face.
What are you out here playing for? I don't care if you ain't.
It's called dodgeball. It ain't called stand there and get hit.
Yeah.
But he's 8. Why you gotta hit him so hard?
Hey, what he ain't duck. I bet he taught now.
All right, okay.
Punk ain't gonna cock back with that little weak ass throw like I ain't see that coming.
Yeah, I hit him in the face. In the face. That's
What, he need to pay attention?
So mean. Oh, baby. That poor baby.
Oh, we go back in the house, we decide to play chess. But here's what happens. The man who think he know everything about chess get his ass dusted by that 8th grader. Now he really upset. The little boy done tore his ass up in chest, and he can't take it.
Well, all the
He
pieces.
take the-
That's where all the pieces gonna be on the floor.
Yeah.
He picked them up.
Hold up, dog. You can't say checkmate. We just got started. How you gonna do dog? We ain't done but 4, 5, 6 moves. What is you talking about checkmate?
He won.
No, that ain't how chess go. Chess a thinking man game.
Right.
You ain't even had time to think.
David, he won the game, man.
He ain't won no damn game. He just said checkmate.
He beat you. I mean, he won the game.
How? Show me how.
He showed you. He schooled
Yeah,
you.
he showed you, huh?
That ain't, you can't do that. See, you gotta look, man, in chess, you have to make a minimum of 20 moves each.
Well, he didn't have to do that.
Before you could, dog, that's how it's done, dog.
Are you getting mad?
No, you ain't even supposed to say checkmate unless it's been 20 moves.
Maybe try something else. I don't know.
Yeah.
Man, see, y'all need to play chess with white folk.
It's racial. Everything is racial with you.
Can't play that.
All right, last game we can't play. Checkers.
Can't play
Cannot
checkers?
It's the same guy with the dodgeball. Really enjoys beating a 3rd grader. He gets such
Bam,
joy.
bam, 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 bam. King me. What is your punk ass crying for? Put a crown on it. To wipe your ass out. No, little man, you can't jump back. Because you got the red pizza. Red pizza can't jump back.
It's a child, man.
All right, end of this game, okay? Let's move on. Pimpin in the building coming up next with week 13 of the NFL right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, guys, week 13 of the NFL. Pimpin is making his way to the microphone as we speak. Here he comes.
He be way back there.
Uh-huh.
Bar. I think he gonna be a good dude.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, Pimpin.
What's happening, Pimpin?
Hey, Shirley, what's happening with
Hello,
you?
Pimpin. Happy holidays.
Oh, happy holidays to you. Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah. And that other one, too, Kwanzaa. I don't know what they be doing on Kwanzaa, but happy Kwanzaa.
Thank
Pimps
you.
don't do Kwanzaa, man.
No, because we can't spell it. Pimps can't do what pimps can't spell. Hey, what's up, Chocolate?
What's happening, Pimpin? What's
Ain't
going
nothing,
on?
everything okay? Jay, you all right?
I'm good, pimping you sharp,
What's
man.
up, man? Yeah, I know that's right. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Hater ain't here, little Tommy.
No, he not
What,
here.
he don't want them little ass shows or something? Nah, I always got to do that. That's everything. What's up, Junior?
Pimpin, my hero.
No, your voice, man. Every time I hear it, I tear up. You know what I'm saying? I say, 'cause this boy got it. You boy got it. So what y'all think of this outfit right here?
Nice.
That's
nice.
nice, Pimpin.
You like that?
Yeah, that's nice.
You doing it?
Well, explain it, though.
What is that?
You
What's
know
that
what?
made of?
The whole jacket is just bells.
Oh, like
Yeah.
Christmas bells?
Yeah,
I
they
get
Christmas bells, but without the little
Okay.
dang-a-lang in it. Because I don't want to be noisy. It just got
like-
bells on.
Okay,
Oh, you
jingle
took the
bells
little
without
thing
the
out,
jingle.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm just bells.
You
Come
know
on.
what shoes coming, huh?
You know, ring mama, I'm LL Cool J up in here.
Rock the
Ring
bell.
mama, rock the bells, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, gold and silver bells, you know what I'm saying? Got these mistletoe cuffs on.
You look like a
Nice.
Christmas tree, yeah.
You say it again, Sharon.
You look like a Christmas
I
tree.
look like a gift. Oh, man, that's all right up in here, man.
Pimpin, well, let's get to it, Pimp. See how you
So-
did this week.
Man, you know what? Everybody had bad weeks, Junior.
Uh-huh.
Even a pimp can have a bad week. And, you know, I just felt like last week I just got rushed to do these picks. Didn't you kind of feel
I
that way?
felt that way too, Pimpin, because you couldn't talk it out and figure it out for yourself.
No, I couldn't ask no questions.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't pick I ain't even get me a
push game.
Hey, you know what? I went, damn.
Nah, he didn't give you a push game last week, Pimp.
This crazy.
All right, Pimp, here it is. Baltimore beat Atlanta 26-16.
Nah, I thought I picked Atlanta.
You did.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Here's a good one, though. Denver beat Cincinnati.
Got that right. Come on.
Yeah,
now.
you picked it.
Yeah, that's all I did.
Yeah. Los Angeles Rams beat Detroit.
I told you that, though.
Yeah, picked it. Arizona beat Green Bay. Yeah, didn't
I think I picked Green Bay.
Yeah, Pimpin. Man. And then the Packers fired their head coach Mike McCarthy after that.
Right after that, hell, he said, if you can't beat the Cardinals, you can't come to work tomorrow.
That's cold.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, Pimpin. Miami beat Buffalo.
You know, I picked Buffalo because we on the air.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I ain't got no faith in Buffalo for real. Just won't tell the truth.
Well, Pimpin, here go another one, though, Pimpin. The New York Giants beat Chicago 30-27.
I was just like, well, I'll be damned.
Overtime.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'll be damned. That ain't, what the hell? This is what it sounds like. Damn.
Tampa Bay beat Carolina Panthers, man, 24-17. Ah, man.
Huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that
man.
threw me off, too. I went, damn, that was messed up, too.
Yeah, man. Here goes another one, man. Jacksonville beat Indianapolis.
And they ain't whooped nobody this year. I was surprised. I like Jacksonville, too. They've been hurting my feelings at Duval. They've been hurting my feelings this week, man. I can't believe they won, but congratulations to DJ Hayden.
Yes.
Yeah, little partner. I used to text him all the time.
Yeah, text him, Steve.
Yeah, I used to text him all the time, you know. Then he quit. I guess he didn't want to hear from a pimp, so, you know.
Nah, text him. He got love for you.
Nah. He a good little dude. I just let him go. I got busy, that's all. Congratulations to the Jaguars. Might be too late, but congratulations.
All right, Pimpin. Tennessee Titans beat the New York Jets 26-22.
Oh, the Titans came back?
Yeah.
Damn, the Jets was winning. I picked the Titans. Yeah.
You did. You picked the Titans.
Must have been a comeback.
Yeah. Kansas City beat Oakland 40-33.
Kansas City beat Oakland. You know I picked that.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody whooping Kansas City.
Man. New England at Minnesota 24-10. They won. Man.
Yeah, I know. I tried it. You know, I just don't pick New England because I hate them, man. Don't get here well if I can go there and win no damn game. But you know, you got to do what you got to do. Pimp had a tough one that day.
And Seattle beat San Francisco 43-16.
See, I told you that.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Sherman talking all that noise, but you know, you got to go on here talking about Russell Wilson got Sierra. He real quiet. He was whooping their ass.
Yeah, he was.
What happened? Sierra.
You know, he was always talking all that noise about he throw 4 or 5 interceptions a game and all this. I went, well, damn, dog. You know, what that got to do with it? You ain't getting no 4 or 5 interceptions a game. So if he throwing them, he ain't throwing them to you. You know what I'm saying? And Richard Sherman, quiet as a kept, he a real smart dude. I like him, but his ass need a haircut, man.
All right, Pimpin, and you know the Chargers beat Pittsburgh 33-30.
What? You lying?
Nah, no, Pimpin.
Dog, I ain't even see what. What was they in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, they was in Pittsburgh.
I've always hated the Steelers anyway because they're in the same division as the Browns. So whatever.
All right, well, listen, we're about running out of time, but we have 2 very important games to talk about when we come back right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, week 13 of the NFL. Pimpin' still in the building. 2 more games left, Junior. What you got?
Well,
for the Pimp.
Well, it's Monday Night Football night, Pimpin'. Who you got? Washington at Philly. What you thinking?
Oh, you know, I don't really care, but I had picked Washington. But I don't know what they gonna do, because, like, damn. Doug Williams said that dumbass mess this week. I ain't know what he was talking about. I said, damn, Doug, you must have lost your black ass mind. You know, you would think with all this Me Too stuff going on, you would sit your ass down somewhere and be quiet. These people ain't playing with you no more. You can't say nothing like that. Doug had to come back out and apologize. His grandmama, mama, his 6 daughters.
He apologized to everybody.
He was on there just apologize. Doug ain't mean nothing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Doug old ass, you know, Mississippi ass boy.
He don't even say that. Well, Pimpin, here's the one I like to talk about, Pimpin.
Because you're at work.
Yeah, I'm at work.
Uh-huh.
Now, Uncle Steve told me if they lost, I bet not show up.
Man.
Houston, Texas beat the Cleveland Browns 29-13. 9 in a row. Ha! Pimpin, you pick Cleveland.
Yeah, I got to pick Cleveland. I'm a pimp, ain't I?
Yes, you is. Yeah.
Ain't no pimps in Houston. It's too hot. You can't. How you gonna be a pimp in Houston? You can't wear fur.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the point.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the point.
Be down there, you put a fur coat on down there, your head be like an egg. Be down there just frying. You know, so hot weather stop pimping. I gotta tell you that. Pimping is a cold weather sport. You know what I'm saying? So I just, you know, the Browns lost. You know, Deshaun Watson, we passed on him in the draft and took that drunk ass
Manziel.
Johnny Manziel.
I don't know how we supposed to get past that. Took that junk ass Manziel and we let pass up on Deshaun Watson. I said, I'll be damn. Damn, y'all ain't know. Y'all must have thought because he was white, he was going to do something. That white boy can't throw. He can't throw in Canada. He done went up there and they want to put his ass down. If you can't throw in Canada, I said, damn, he might as well jump. But he little, though. Maybe he should go back and play pal football.
Oh, wow.
Man.
Try that. He ain't finna do nothing up in here. So congratulations, Houston.
Yeah.
You know, the Browns, it's all right. But we was in it. At least we competitive, you know.
Yeah. Well, Pimp.
Oh, meaning it wasn't a blowout.
When did you know the game was over, Pimp?
At halftime, when I cut the thing on and I saw 23-0, I went, damn, click. I don't need to be messing my Sunday up.
What was that sound you made?
How you did
it? Click. Gonna get out of here. Nice time. Hey, man, so next week, man, I won't be so rushed and everything. Some of my picks can be a little bit better. Because I damn sure would have picked Jacksonville had I been thinking. And I would have picked Baltimore because Lamar Jackson then took over for Falco, but I forgot that. You know what I'm saying? I'd have picked that there. I'd have picked one upset game, Cardinals over the Packers. They done fired their coach. His ass ain't coming to work no more. And Kareem Hunt for the Kansas City. Dog. God, what the hell you do, dude?
That was awful.
Real
That was horrible.
Oh, man, you messed up, man. You don't do nothing like that. Ain't nobody raised you better than that. Just let me get on out of here. We'll be picking better next week. This is what it sounds like when pimps cry.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Global Music Festival this weekend, guys. Mandela 100 took place over the weekend, like I said, to honor Nelson Mandela's work to end poverty. Mandela 100, it was an all-day event in Johannesburg, South Africa. It included musical sets by Beyonce and Jay-Z, Pharrell, Ed Sheeran, Chris Martin of Coldplay. Usher was there, and other African artists. South African comedian Trevor Noah and also Dave Chappelle were on the stage to support the cause. Beyonce's performance brought the crowd to their feet, and before the event, Beyonce wrote an open letter dedicated to Mr. Mandela, saying, in part, your kindness and gratitude for every experience and your ability to forgive are lessons I have learned and will pass on to my 3 children. My entire family holds you in high regard. What nice words.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in other news, we talked about this a little bit earlier.
And excuse me, and right there, Shirley.
Yes.
Beyonce said, your willingness to forgive.
Yeah.
See, if you when a person passes, you have to learn from situations. If you can't forgive, you're doing damage to yourself. One of the main lines in the Lord's Prayer is, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. That's how it's done. If you don't ever start forgiving folks, I got news for you, man. Your life in trouble.
Yeah,
forgiving is not so much for the other person as it is for you.
It's for you.
Because it keeps that attitude inside of you for the longest.
Yeah.
It really does.
And you can move on with your
you
life.
move on.
You can move
Right.
on. You're not stuck back there. Yes, Steve.
And you are going to require forgiveness yourself.
Thank you.
Shortly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It won't be no long time before you need
That's
it.
right. As I was saying, we talked about this earlier, Steve. George H.W. Bush, George Herbert Walker Bush, the 41st president of the United States, died Friday night at his home in Houston. He was 94 years old. Wow. After 73 years of marriage, J. Anthony Brown. Yes. President Bush served as president for one term from 1989 to 1993. There will be a 4-day tribute to President Bush. He will lie in state from 5 p.m. Monday until 10 a.m. on Wednesday, a funeral at the Washington National Cathedral, and his burial will be at the George Bush Presidential Library. No one said an unkind word about this man. You look at all the tributes that were going on over the weekend.
No, they saved all their
him.
unkind words for Yolanda Adams who posted the picture with they funky behind.
Yeah.
Now tell people, because if they may not have heard, you talked about this earlier with Yolanda Adams, Steve.
Yolanda Adams posted a picture of her and a few other former presidents, and George Bush was one of them. And she admired him because he used to hire her a lot to do this events that him and his wife Barbara had. And they were so close that, she called him Daddy Bush. And she wrote that on her post, and all of a sudden the hate that was sent towards Yolanda Adams, well, oh, you a Republican now? Did you realize what he did? Wait a minute. I just didn't appreciate why they tried to do my little sister, and y'all ain't gonna do it.
All right, last break of the day coming up. Stay close. You don't want to miss it. Steve Harvey's closing remarks coming up at 49 after the hour, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, here we are. Last break of the day. This was Monday. Not a bad Monday. Start off the week in the Christmas spirit. You guys in the Christmas spirit? I am.
Yes, I am.
I'm starting to feel it.
I am. Yeah, may as well.
I still ain't heard Donny Hathaway nowhere.
I heard it a couple of times. Yeah.
I ain't heard it nowhere.
I've heard it. That's what puts you in the spirit, Steve?
Yeah. I heard a couple Christmas songs, but it wasn't that one.
I ain't heard the Temptations yet.
I haven't heard. Now that I haven't heard. I haven't heard.
Well, I heard a white lady doing it on watercolors.
What?
Donny Hathaway.
This Christmas?
Yeah, I got mad and cut it off.
Okay, we're gonna move on.
You're not gonna ruin this damn song.
We're gonna move on. It's time for.
Nothing else. You couldn't have sang Jingle Bells or nothing.
It's time for closing remarks, Steve Harvey.
Okay.
Let's go.
In light of some of the stuff that I've been hearing on the news, I wanted to take a moment to address. Let me start with a basic thing. That if God allows you to finally get to where you've always asked him, could you be? Whether it's in the corporate ladder, whether it's a certain promotion on the job, whether it's a career in entertainment or career in sports, whatever the situation is, you would think that once God got us to where we asked him, could we please be, that we would be just a little bit more mindful of it and take better care of the opportunity. Too many times I see us, especially men,
get to where we've always wanted to go in sports and entertainment up to corporate ladder. And then we get there, and then a couple of judgmental errors cause us to have to lose it all. Now listen, I'm not saying that we're not going to make mistakes, because we will. Every living person makes a mistake. But my goodness, man, some of these mistakes can be avoided. It's just some basic core values that you have to hold on to. Now listen to me. I don't know what happened to chivalry. I do know what happened to chivalry. It's men in my generation stopped teaching it to the generation behind us, because we were so busy climbing the corporate ladder. We were the first ones to benefit from the civil rights movement, first ones in our families go to college, climb the corporate ladder, get a position at the post office, own a company. A lot of us benefited from the civil rights movement. And we were so busy benefiting and taking advantage of the new laws and affirmative action and all of this stuff where we could get a piece of the pie, that we forgot to teach the young men, the generation behind us, the rules of manhood. And there's a real simple rule that should always come into play. Men don't hit women. Now look, man, you can call that old-fashioned if you want to, because I've had a couple of dudes in my camp accuse me of that. They've actually said that to me. They say, Mr. H, you don't understand. That's old school. That ain't how I do no more, because sometimes these women up here is hitting men. Well, let me explain something to you. I got that there's some women right now hitting men, and I've tried to teach all my daughters, keep your hands off anybody, because everybody ain't raised like your brothers. See, I raised my sons not to hit women, because my father raised me and my brothers never to hit a woman under no circumstance. So that's how I raised my sons. But everybody's child ain't raised that way. So I've always taught my daughters to keep your hands to yourself. But if they don't keep their hands, just as a man, what does it really cost you, man? Really, young men, what would it really cost you to walk away? How hard can she really hit you? How, really, man? Her best shot, you ain't took a shot no harder than that before. You done took a shot from that harder than that from most boys and had to get your butt out the way because you didn't want no more. I'm just saying, man, look, incorporate this real simple rule in your life, that men don't hit women. I watched this young boy, Kareem Hunt, on this video in a hotel in Cleveland, push this woman, strike this woman, and then when the woman was kneeling, he kicked her. His football career is gone. The Kansas City Chiefs immediately released him. This is his second year in the NFL. He didn't learn nothing from the Ray Rice incident. Ray Rice's football career is gone from the domestic violence he portrayed to his wife on an elevator. But video or no video, if you just live by one simple rule that you don't hit women. I was looking at Ray Rice's video on the thing. What did she do that she was supposed to get that? The repercussions of it is too great. Whether it's on video or not, the repercussions is too great, man. But when it cost you your career, was it worth it? When you get locked up, was it worth it? When you get charges, was it worth it? You have to go to court, was it worth it? To see the look on her face of a woman you supposedly say you love, to see a bruise on her, is it worth it? I don't think so. I don't think so. Real men don't hit women. I'll just say it again. Real men don't hit women, period. Feel how you want to feel and say what you want to say. But real men don't hit women, period. That's enough.
Drop the mic, Steve. You're right about that.
No, you don't. I don't give a damn. And I already know I'm going to catch hell behind this. Yeah, I already know.
Take us home, Steve. We got to get out of here anyway.
Okay, we'll go home. Have a great week.
For all Steve Harvey contests, no purchase necessary, void where prohibited. Participants must be legal U.S. residents at least 18 years old unless otherwise stated. For complete contest rules, visit SteveHarveyFM.com.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.